Have you really longed for something that you have no control over, and found yourself desperate, anxious, worried about it, obsessing about it, and just not sure what to do and feeling almost at your wit's end about how to handle it? Um, if that's you, I can relate because I was there last week. I I just wanted to share how experience I recently had with that and offer some ideas about how to deal with that when it comes up. So I interviewed for a job that I really would love last week. It would be a great opportunity for growth and learning and to really use some of the skills that some of my strongest skills, which is like communication, relationship building, and get to use them in a new setting so that I could really learn a lot and grow. So I was really excited. I've been waiting for this opportunity. I got the interview, and ever since the interview, I have been worried and obsessing about the job. And um, I'm in the middle of a comeback in my life, rebuilding my life, and really seeking out the right opportunities, the next opportunity, right? That's going to take me to the next step. I'm Deborah. I'm sharing the journey of my midlife comeback and rebuilding my life after losing a bunch of money. Um, So I had this interview this week, and the interview went well. It was a phone interview. It was actually like a preliminary interview, and it went well. I got good like response from the interviewer, but I felt like I could have done a lot better. And it is kind of a dream job for me where I would really get to use and grow my skills. And so after the interview, I just found myself thinking about what I could have done better, where I made mistakes, just really critiquing myself, which is important to do. You want to reflect so that you can see where you can improve and understand how to do things even better next time. So I have no problem with that. So when it initially started, I was like, okay, good. I need to check, I need to look at this and see how I can improve. But it just continued for days, waking me up at 4 a.m. and thinking about this job and what I should have done better. And did I blow it because I didn't do as good as I knew I could have done. And it's a competitive job market and all that stuff. And it's actually a new field for me. So that it's a pivot. And so that comes with its own stuff about, how the how to present myself in a way that really shows my transferable skill. But what really came up for me during this time was just feeling desperate. Like it's not a good feeling. Feeling desperate and needy, and feeling like everything depends on this particular job. Like, my whole future depends on getting this particular job. And I really felt myself feeling that. And it was causing me a lot of anxiety and worry that I just I had a hard time getting through. Kept coming up for me. Like if I was doing something else, I was fine. Cooking dinner at my current job, um, all of that was fine. But if I had empty space, especially at 4 o'clock in the morning, apparently, then all those fears and doubts and self criticisms would come up. And, you know, I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. The thoughts were just, my mind was spinning. And did I blow it? Is it off the table now? What can I learn from it? And just trying to I don't know, like go through like 10 levels of growth and learning and reflection at 4 a.m. in the morning. Just what I realized is that there's a part of me that's just like wants so desperately, and it is a feeling of desperation to change my situation, that it brings up a lot of fear and puts overemphasizes a single thing, a particular opportunity, like if I don't get this job, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of my life. It doesn't change, it's not going to change my purpose in this life, which is really to help other people to be able to rebuild their lives, and to rebuild their life after all kinds of, devastating and challenging experiences. So it's not going to change that. It's not going to change that this channel is important to me because I want people who are going through those kinds of challenges to not feel alone. And I want to normalize the feelings that come up as we go through life and deal with day to day things, and want to integrate our spirituality into that to support us. So this morning, I had to do some parts work and talk to the part of me that was scared, freaked out. Like, you messed up, it's over. If you don't get this job, what are you gonna do? And I just talked to my fears, and I thanked them for coming up always, and really wanted to recognize what it is that I can learn from it. And one of the things that I heard when I was talking to my fears, or the part of me that is afraid and anxious, is that it wants to hurry up and make everything right. It wants to hurry up and fix everything. And it feels like if that part of me feels like if I could just get the right job, the right situation, everything will be solved. And I don't know if you've been there before where you think this one thing that you want is going to fix everything. But if you've got some life experience under your belt, then you know that's definitely not true. There's no one thing that fixes everything, you know? And so I had to recognize that and talk to myself about that, and, tell myself that there is no one thing that fixes everything. Whether or not I get this particular job isn't going to change the purpose of my life and what it is I really want to do with my life and help people. And so there was like this part of me that had this, rational conversation with the part of myself that's afraid. And then once I did that, the fears really just fell away. I want to say that, like, right now, they feel like they've fallen away completely. I'm not saying they can't come back, but right now I'm not feeling any fear about it. Right now I'm able to let go in a way I haven't been able to for the past few days. And I was able to do that and just kind of step away from the fears, let them fall away, then I was able to remind myself of what's really going on here. What's the deeper meaning here? What's the bigger picture here? And remind myself of the spiritual perspective of what's going on. And what I recognize is that, number one, I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. So a part of me was feeling very much like I'm not enough unless I get this particular job, that I need this job to feel like enough, to feel worthy. And so I was just making it into these huge stakes as to whether or not I get this job. And I just had to remind myself, I am enough. I am enough. And I don't need this particular job to validate me, to make me worthy. And the other part of that I realized was that what is meant for me is mine. I don't have to fight. I don't have to worry. I just need to continue walking on my path. If it's meant for me, it's mine. And of course, I want to put effort in. I want to prepare. I want to do what I can to um, be ready to receive it and take advantage of the opportunities that come my way. But if it's not meant for me, then that's okay. It's not mine. It's not meant for me. And I think that that is sometimes it is at times a really hard thing to accept when you really want something, when you want things to go down a certain way, you want a particular scenario. And I just really had to think about that and just really remind myself. I had to really remind myself that I don't need to worry. I don't need to stress. If it's meant for me, it'll be mine. I'm going to do everything I can to get it. I want it. But also, I don't need to worry or stress if I don't get it. And that balance is, I think, one of the hardest balances to keep in life. I've talked about it before. It's just this balance between wanting something, but also being unattached to it so that you're not desperate for it. You're not in a place of lack and scarcity and fear as you're working towards it, but rather working towards it with ease, knowing that you put all your effort in and it may or may not pay off with this particular opportunity. If it doesn't turn into this particular opportunity, it'll certainly pay off at some point in the future. But you never know. And so you have to move through life and work towards your goals with commitment and energy and effort, but also with ease. Being able to want it something and let go of it at the same time. It's such a tricky space to be in that I'm personally, I don't know about you, but personally, I'm always navigating and renegotiating that space because it sounds good in theory, but it's quite difficult to stay in that space on a daily basis. And yet, it's what, is really asked of me on a daily basis if I want to go through life without being stressed, but also still working towards the things I want. So I just wanted to share that today, that you are enough, that whatever opportunity that you are seeking to take advantage of, whatever experience it is that you want, whatever thing it is you want to manifest, you are enough whether or not that particular thing happens. And what is meant for you is yours. That's what I want to remind you of today. What is meant for you is yours. Like, nobody can take it from you as long as you're willing to work for it, as long as you've got the commitment and the effort. If you will put in the energy, what is meant for you is yours. So the things that don't happen are simply just not meant for you. And it takes a lot of trust and faith to remind ourselves that we are on a path that is both physical and spiritual. And as we walk this path, we want to remain in a place of faith, knowing that the right things are going to come together for us and trusting that even when things don't go the way we want them to. So I just wanted to share that today because that's the spot that I'm in and the lessons that I'm learning and reminders that I'm getting from my life experiences. If you can relate to this, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What do you want to be able to go after, but also let go of? What is that goal that you want to manifest? What is that thing that you want to experience, that situation you want to create in your life? W- And how are you doing it? How are you finding that space to both pursue it and let go of it? How are you navigating that space? Because I feel like it's a space we kind of go in and out of. And personally, I'm always working to get back into that space. But yeah, sometimes you step out of it. You fall out of it from time to time, out of coherence with that. And then for me, I just work to get back into that space. Because the other space, the desperate, needy space, is super uncomfortable. So I'm not trying to stay there. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to share those thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you soon.